Shut up.
Sorry, you can't do this. You think you're the only one who can say it? I can't say it, that's the problem. Sorry,
I love that.
सर आम्ही इतके हसलोय दुपारी अरे
तुझं झालं का म्हणजे संक्रांतचा प्रोग्राम झाला का?
नहीं, today is that Bhogi business.
Oh.
You're going to do that har and olga tomorrow?
Oh, you want to do that?
I have
Oh,
to go early in
lovely.
the morning and do all that something.
Finger.
All that
Finger
thing.
what?
Yeah.
Shraddha has finger, she's to
अरे पण she doesn't actually तसं she's not a big one.
She's not, but I mean, I think somehow I reflect that feeling towards her. So she's like, अच्छा तू आहेस तुम्ही करते.
You reflect the feeling.
Sorry, uncle, you won't believe it. I had one full bhakri today with loni and methi ki bhaji. Oh my god, it was ridiculously heavy.
it was ridiculous in taste वगैरह
So that loni and bhakri was really good, but it was so heavy.
आज भोगीची भाजी खातो.
मी आम्हाला काय सांगतो सांगितलं की खूप विचित्र भाजी सांग म्हणून.
I have to.
भोगी
I don't
is
know where
nothing
it's
but
going.
undio.
I know, I don't like it.
Give them.
So she decided to feed me bhakri with loni.
tomorrow's timing काय टायमिंग आहे उद्याचं 5 ते 7
me at least.
5 ते 7 तर तुम्ही 7:30 ते 9:30 उद्या बोलला काय होतं एक्झॅक्टली?
कारण आजचं 7:30
No.
उद्या 5 ते 7 आहे
उद्या
का?
5 ते 7 आहे.
उद्या 5 आहे. ओके.
Inside office.
tomorrow it's an office.
Hi, guys. It's a Friday night travel. That's
No, we don't have problem traveling. तिकडे एवढी जनता जनार्दन आहे तुमची.
उद्या संध्याकाळी नसेल ना. Because office everyone leaves at 4:35
उद्या तर बंदच असेल. म्हणजे ऑफिसेस संक्रांत.
So we'll have it to ourselves.
चलो, let's start.
चला let's start so that we can finish in time.
So, the homework. Should we do it after the approach?
What which homework?
आज रे वो आज होमवर्कच नको. मागचा आज मी चेक करत होतो. तो पॅशनचा. So actually that we have actually created an Excel
So
sheet.
we'll just send it to you.
Yeah.
You can check it offline.
आपलं नाही आहेस ना?
Yes, nobody has done anything about it. तू काय असते?
What I did know. तिकडे जे नाव आहे ते
Very bad, guys. Very bad.
अरे बोल मुली.
अरे that day
हाँ.
2 pages got filled with my suggestions.
कुठे pages? मेरा pages नहीं.
I don't know who was writing, but somebody was writing.
You should know. Very bad.
ठीक है. So
Alright.
come back to yesterday's points that we started discussing about, particularly the show, because right now that will be a driving force to the bigger picture. So in the current format, the show doesn't work, and you also know you have your own suggestion on that. So आपल्याला what is that one show or episodes or things which you guys have come across and you find that is more kind of apt or that's kind of hooked me onto that aspect. So we'll start with the brainstorming session where we'll give out or share out thoughts. This is the kind of things which hooked on me for that particular show, particular episode, or particular way of presentation, which we can write down, which works, which don't work, and then come back to our format, what works, what doesn't work, and then kind of brainstorm it further.
It could be multiple shows for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
It could be multiple shows for multiple reasons. But what do you find as a driving force?
जस्ट तिकडे ह्याच्यामध्ये कॉन्फरन्स रूम मध्ये बघ.
जास्त पण तिथे.
सगळं तिकडे.
Advait, can you come here, please? Yeah. What is that thing that you find as a driving force? For this a particular reason, I like this show. For this particular reason, I like this show. So, असं काही आहे का? Because we have been speaking a lot about episodes.
It
be a show of any genre or
Yeah,
any.
yes, yes. It could be anything. Right now we are not speaking of specifically to do with the content part of it, but the delivery part. Right?
Look, ultimately, we want the audience to stay back and grasp the content of whatever we are presenting to them. So, if the content is something that we also consume and we will get drawn to it, then we kind of have a psychology of what kind of content I am looking at or what kind of content my peers are looking at. Then I will kind of blend it down to factors. If this kind of works or this process kind of works, probably we'll have to tweak it according to our things. So, are you ready?
You can start with anyone or any.
Give us 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
How much
Open.
So, I think one thing which I have liked about different shows is monologue by the host at the beginning, which kind of
Any
sets
particular show which you're talking about?
Jimmy Fallon.
अच्छा हे आपण दुसऱ्या ह्याच्याबद्दल बोलतोय का मला
Other shows.
like shows which we have like
Why did you watch
What is your inspiration? What is the thing which you like about
And for
other shows?
different things, different. Like for you, Friends is something that you look at for
कपिल शर्मा
some.
शो
Yeah.
I had fun.
Okay, whatever, it is not right now a particular genre or kind of.
Did you say Kapil Sharma?
Yeah.
It is also one more thing. What do you like that about that show? And what would you like to what thing would you like to replicate or somewhat get into the show of CCE?
So the other thing which I have is a fun act by an internal team. So of course that from the Kapil Sharma show
For
itself
Kapil Sharma.
for me. But so the internal team, so can we probably have jamming by past community members?
Okay.
So that was a thought that I have written.
You want me to write it down?
Tanvi, are you writing? Okay, fun act by the
Internal team. So for us, I don't know if you want to write that, jamming by the past community members. So can that be one small segment? Then I have liked games or competition between the participants.
This is from which show?
Which one? The fun act or
next
No, next one.
Atta.
games or competition from Coffee with Karan and BFFs by Neha Bhutia show. So that
So that is fun game.
fun or competition, but together, not individually. So like suppose Karan Johar does a rapid
Yeah.
fire which is individually, वैसा नहीं पर नेहा भूटिया का जैसा है ना कि, and then I have a list of questions also, something like if 2 participants are there, which do you think is the easier passion to follow,
Okay.
or which is the more expensive one, or do you want to give a shout out to any other artist, things like that. So as a part of that competition, I have a couple of questions but we can
Well,
do
I
that
understood
later.
this is the what kind of question?
Yeah.
So it will be together. So there will be some kind of interaction between the 2 participants as well, which right now on the show it doesn't happen.
Got it.
It is the
Got it. So
participant
you're
talking
Pass
to
this
the
finger
host.
first, it is
So
basically
you
all
basically
right.
don't want it to turn into segments.
And it has to be conversations. So people will connect with it. If you and I are connecting, and if Advait and I we have also met on the show or whatever, we are also kind of talking. So it's right now it is very structured.
Yeah, so I think what makes that happen is that is when you also divide the audience.
Correct.
Because one audience comes for one, the second audience comes for second.
Because what was the show that you said for this?
Coffee with Karan and Neha Bhutia.
BFFs.
BFFs by Vogue. Which is actually a great concept because they actually get BFFs.
Correct.
It's not just the name.
Correct.
And
And the last
that is
one?
the reason that combined thing works well because it's BFFs. Because I think the Swapnil Joshi had a similar show, McDowell number 1 Teri Meri Yari. It was on Woot or something. Again, he used to get 2 people who were good friends or at least been close for quite a few years. So that bond reflects in the conversation and in the fun elements which they do, which is little bit difficult for us to get out because the two performers or two guests are technically unknown to each other. I mean, between the guests gelling आणायला, it will take quite a long time.
So maybe you can
नाही
add the
जस्ट वन पॉइंट आता आपण टेक्निकॅलिटीज आणि डिफिकल्टीजवर नको बोलूया आणि आपल्याला 100% रेप्लिकेशन पण नाही करायचं पण दिस इज व्हॉट आय लाईक सो लेट सी हाऊ कॅन वी इम्प्लिमेंट समथिंग ऑफ दिस सॉर्ट इन टू आर कारण त्या डिफिकल्टीज मध्ये गेलो तर वी विल ओनली स्पीक ऑफ डिफिकल्टीज
Correct.
want to focus on the other part of it.
So, one final.
Go ahead.
So the last one is parody of movies or stars,
Definitely.
which is there in Chala Hawa Yogya.
हाँ ये कपिल शर्मा उसमें started on
हाँ, Chala Hawa Yogya would be actually more of that.
हाँ
So in that, how we could probably have is make the fashions which are actually difficult, so make them seem a little simple or silly. So like we had stone balancing.
Correct.
So where he is actually doing amazing work, पण आपण असं आपल्या साईडनी टिपऱ्या ठेवायच्या किंवा फ्लॅट असे टाईल्स आहेत ना ते एकावर एक ठेवायचं आणि झालं स्टोन बॅलन्सिंग. इट्स सो सिम्पल. सो you do it in that way. किंवा you draw Majnu वाला kind of a painting and start painting. It's not difficult. I can also do it. So I don't know if it will actually go
what
as
did you say, parody or
a parody of movies or stars. And for glyphs, we make it in the form of make those fashions seem ultra simple or funny.
This is nice. तुझं झालंय सर्विसचा तुम्ही
फ्रेंड्स अजून एक ऍड करायचं सो कपिल शर्मा झाला
But what about them?
सो फ्रेंड्स मध्ये इट्स अबाउट यू पिक अप that series at any point of time. So it doesn't friends मध्ये. So the dialogues in such a way that anyone seeing it from anywhere they'll still enjoy it.
so every episode in itself is a starting point so
Every episode, every
Element
moment.
of the episode.
So any point of the episode also is a starting point.
you need to know the history?
You
not
don't
even
know.
like start from start like 15 minutes के बाद भी
Correct.
like you start watching you still kind of
It's
connect
funny.
with the way
So त्यांनी काय केलंय? So the way I will further analyze is that they create situations inside a situation. So that's the reason those short situations get linked and they create an episode. Inception very far.
Like situation is situation which is
Correct.
still interlinked. Like at any point of time you can pick it up whether it's
So can't
Joey
make sense.
or all that.
it's a technical word but a situation is
Yeah,
a
but
situation
Continuity between two.
most friends
Just say interlinked. It's
That's why I think it's
interlinked.
काय झालं?
And Kapil Sharma?
like you, I think.
Kapil Sharma is again for me a no-brainer, absolutely a no-brainer,
But is that where
and
you see
100% entertainment. Again, different characters coming in at different times, making their
individuality
presence
like friend is still individual, yeah.
correct. And primarily, I think it's more of the host that we're talking about. What are that?
Go ahead.
So it's more about the host who is making the show lively. So ते एक आहे आणि so that's about Kapil Sharma. काय झालं? आणि लास्ट इज ट्रेवर नोआ
Graham Norton.
For him, I like his, of course, the host. He just drives the entire
Host.
Yeah, all yours.
So these are all shows that have like really high levels of interaction with the audience watching.
Yes.
Yeah.
आता एक मिनिट आता अनालाइज नका
म्हणजे
पुढे
आणि विचार
नाही ठीक आहे आता येऊन दे कारण ह्याच्यानंतर सगळ्यांचं झालं ना की मग आपण ते अनालाइज करू अच्छा हे असं आहे ते तसं आहे दॅट विल कम टू
Can you also suggest?
येस 100% ऑल ऑफ अस हॅव टू
So the first one is the Late Late Show, James Corden. I relate that James Corden, yes. I relate that with our concept little bit more because the variety of guests he has is not limited to only actors. Again, there are singers, there are songwriters, copywriters, doctors, politicians, businessmen.
Anybody who can have a conversation.
Yes, and they have performance as well as a interview
Correct.
as such. So it is again a combination. So sometimes he might have two guests. One of them is a singer. He might perform there on the show as well as speak to James, and the other person might be just there to talk to James. The other thing is again the element which he does. He does the news. Now in that news section there is a relevance to the real world news which is there on CNN or any other newspaper, but it is the parody of that news which he presents. So again there is connection to the reality, but there is fun element as well. Then they do a lot of special sections in the show. It's not necessary every show that they do it, but let's say there was a show with Tom Hanks and they were celebrating his journey in the cinema by doing a few bits and pieces on the go of his cinema with Tom Hanks. So it was Tom Hanks and James Corden who had done that, and it was hardly 4 or 5 minute wala piece they had done. Absolutely amazing. The other benefit of that show is it is easily segmentable, because if you want to watch the Late Late Show full, it is only aired on CBS at night. There is nowhere else you can watch the full episode in one go. On YouTube, on Twitter, everywhere it is all segments. 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 7 minutes segments they post afterwards, which then has a lot of recall value as well. So that one is quite high on the list. The second one is Graham Norton. Again, the way he conducts the interviews, just brilliant.
I was just thinking to मला याचा आठवत. I will also just ask ना तर त्याचं नाव होतं आठवत. मला I will also like to add is India's Got Talent, or so that the talent जे आहे
and with James Corden, again his style of hosting is very nice. Again, because obviously they were hit by pandemic as well, they couldn't access the studio. That time everybody was at their own homes, still did the show. So again, we can relate with that situation. Even now, some of his guests would like to come via Zoom. They don't want to come to the studio. So even he has certain guests in the studio and certain people over Zoom as well.
So they've incorporated
Yes, so
that means to असं so बोलतोस and then you also speak to those
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a thought where we can also conceptualize, come back to it. How do we bridge that gap with a new digital format?
हे कशाबद्दल बोललास होता?
James Corden, The Late Late Show.
Probably right. Yeah, I've never seen a complete episode on YouTube, but I've watched.
They will never do that because they want people to be on TV for the full episode, because that is where their TRP is.
But then segments are they take 20 to 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Many times a lot of these. But I remember an episode they did for I think James Bond's audition with this thing David Beckham and Ito. So that was a nice piece.
And they do a lot of funny things.
Yeah. I think that's it. We'll come back.
What about you?
So I think when I'm watching something like a Bhadi or a Big Boss or the other soaps that are there, the storyline is what would keep me going. It need not be something that starts with episode 1 and ends with episode 600. That one episode can be a story in itself, but yes, that is what I like. Second is there's a group of girls, Diva karke, they keep on putting out these videos. They are typically talking about Delhi, but they are making a mockery out of everyday life through their act. So I like to watch it. It is something that is relatable, which
Diva.
DIVA.
Your girl.
Available on YouTube.
Maybe I've seen them on Facebook or on. Yeah. So it is something that probably happens in my everyday life too, and then I'm watching someone do a mockery out of it. So
Kind of relatable, find that more relatable.
yes. Third is when I watch shows like David Letterman or Simi Garewal. Now that is an interview, correct? But that interview doesn't feel like an interview. It is like a conversation that I'm having with my friend, wherein she and he is enjoying and stuff like that. So I like how they ease it into that. But I still know that they're interviewing, so I'm still listening to what they have to share. There's another series called The Way I See It, which is that is typically related to my fashion era. Maybe that is why that catches my interest. It talks about interpretation of It talks about interpretation of art.
Which is that show, sorry?
The Way I See It. It's not a show. It's just an initiative that they have.
Where do you see it?
I've seen it on YouTube.
YouTuber.
So tikade, what do they do is there is one art piece that they are talking about, wherein the guests that they have called in are maybe a celebrity, someone like a Steve Martin or a known face, not necessarily Hollywood, who is not from the art field, but he's trying to interpret the art. And he's accompanied with two people who are experts in art interpretation. So they have that conversation with him, try to take his whatever perspective, and then they put in the scientific reasoning behind interpretation. So it is also knowledge, but it's also fun to watch. But the fun is not mockery. It's just
That is basically trying to understand a perspective of a
perspective.
of
One
a
subject
person who's
matter
not an
and
art
multiple
person.
perspectives.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, a person who's not an art person
Correct.
has a different viewpoint.
Correct.
Always.
Also, in the same series, when you keep watching it, there is one section which will.
वरचं काढून टाक ना आपली वरचं काढून टाक ना
There is the way I see it. There is one section which will typically try to tell you how to interpret art, but not get into the technical details of it. It will make it easier
Still,
for.
like a layman's term of
Yes.
interpreting art.
Yes.
Is something.
So that is something that will keep you.
It's a knowledge sharing aspect of it.
But on a lighter note, which every
There is
person can
always-
do. You don't necessarily have to. And the last one is something like a roadies, where it is task based, where there is one task which each of the player is doing in his or her individual style. And the winners are chosen on the basis of who has completed the activity, how, and also in terms of bonding, politics we have there. So it's a mix.
Technically, they're common people as well.
Yeah, and of course controversies too, but we are not looking at that for our episode.
तसं असेल तर तुला
Like on screen
ते सुद्धा आहे ना सलमान खानचं ते बिग बॉस
Big Boss पहले mention में था
You mentioned Big Boss.
Yeah, I would actually add Love Island as well.
अरे
In that
Oh,
case,
that's fun.
yeah, it is fun.
Say anything to love also.
James Corden का Fill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts.
Yeah.
Have you seen
To
it?
your guts.
That will actually be very nice for the team.
Yeah.
Give it to each other.
Absolutely.
Do you know the concept of that?
It is
Fill Your Guts, Fill Your Guts, you know the concept?
superb.
It's basically like, for example, James Corden got Kendall Jenner on the show, and he had invited Kendall Jenner and Kylie Jenner. Sister. So, in the thing,
It's like a roast.
so he asked Kendall Jenner, they asked each other questions. James Corden asked Kendall Jenner, Kylie was supposed to be here on the show tonight, but last minute she called in sick and said she can't show up. Why? And everyone started laughing because it was probably a reason why she didn't want to come. So you have two options. One, either you tell the truth, or second, you have a table in front of you which has different food items.
Roast
Things like-
food items.
Things like bird feed, bird saliva.
And you don't know what's
You don't know what's
your
going
thing.
on. Yeah. Either you tell the truth or you eat one of them. So she actually ate something because, he said she didn't show up. She said she was sick and then she showed a picture. This is her an hour ago. Why couldn't she show up? So everyone started laughing. So either she had to
She
tell
just said
the truth.
because I'm on the show.
She either had to tell the truth or she had to eat something on the table. So she ate something on the table. They should do that to each other.
So, so that is what I was actually referring to, the first day conversation that we had where we said that, maybe the two hosts, in a time where the two hosts develop a relationship of fun or whatever between each other, which becomes a kind of thing that people relate to. So like this spill your guts or whatever, you basically are roasting each other.
Yeah.
You eat the bird feed, no you.
No.
Yeah, you have to tell the truth.
So basically, where you guys are like roasting each other, you're like, he's always late, or she's always on time, or she's always like.
Oh God! The roast is on.
That's not called roasting, that's stating the truth.
No. So like she's so particular about stuff, and she's like about stuff like that.
Yeah, that can be a section, yeah, definitely.
She's trying to roast you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, someone roasted my husband.
Yeah, we have puss.
तो अडीच पोरी अरे तो वरती सो बघत नाही एवढा लाजतो तो
आजच नाही मी चालू केलं बोलायला की मीटिंग नाही संपणार आपली
Okay, so
He's अडखळी मी बोलला ना.
do you have any shows that you find entertaining, or any segment that you find entertaining that you think can be incorporated into CCE?
Think about incorporated like kind of which.
Yeah, like that you feel you wish that happened. You
Yeah.
told me so many times that you.
सो तिकडे बघते ऑलरेडी लिहिलेलं आहे सो दॅट कॅन बी
We
एक्झाम्पल
don't have a copy of Karan anywhere here, okay?
फर्स्ट वन वाज कॉपरेट
She missed. I
Ah,
have
see, monologue by the host basically.
So that is Jim Fallon.
No.
Jimmy Fallon.
कॉपरेट करना है
Jimmy Fallon was a competition for a
Yeah.
part.
You said it about
Neha Bhutia and
PFS.
that was not
I don't know. I don't think most of you
It's
must
okay.
have watched it.
I don't know.
Most of you must have watched. I don't know, but there was a thing called Rendezvous with Cindy.
Yeah.
So that, me, when I talk about show, I always think of that.
Rendezvous with
Cindy.
Cindy.
She probably don't even know who Cindy is.
तू फक्त सिमी होय हॅलो
Des
Rendezvous is
R-E-N-D-E-Z.
अरे ठीक है ना, it's not a brand.
हे वांदे नाही आरीच
R-E-N-D-Z.
Abhi, what is happening to your grammar?
With them at least something on.
I left it as combination.
उसको नहीं आया.
you're like completely today
What to
I
do
don't
yaar?
want to hear this.
You have
That's
to
you
hear.
don't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I don't want to.
no you don't want to I want
You out of all the people don't want to know.
Okay, guys, I'm really surprised that you have mentioned Ellen here.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I haven't watched. I watched.
Bro, Ellen shows are very boring.
Ellen shows are not boring. They're actually.
Ellen
You said boring. You said boring.
I said boring, I hate
In
it.
fact, because Ellen shows are more to do with passion and talent, that and not
I'm making fun of
necessarily.
them.
No, and not necessarily celebrities.
Yeah.
They pick
Yeah.
up the common people,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
bring them on the show, and the second very important thing that we spoke about yesterday was the incentive that they give them. At the end of the show, not only does the participant get something, but even all the visitors, all the guests get something.
But even
And also
in
the
this
way
one,
she
no,
has
Oprah
fun
Winfrey
on
la,
the stage herself.
Oprah suda same होता ना.
Oprah also.
Oprah gifted like 100 vehicles in one show.
Oh,
Yeah.
100 vehicles, sport chair. Whoever was there in the show, everybody got a phone.
Exactly.
So
So
Oprah.
it has like a social thing,
Then we
it has
need more
an incentive, and it is regarding common people. It's not necessarily to do with celebrities. So everything, one of the biggest thing, are we allowed to now sum it up or
Any shows that you
any
want
other shows?
have.
you can write Ellen.
On second thoughts,
No,
If
but
you guys
I
have
think
any more-
Ellen से कहा है कि it might be interesting, but it is not as entertaining because it's
She cracks very witty jokes. She wouldn't crack a joke.
See,
okay,
so
no.
the thing is,
Wittiness, if you compare wittiness of her jokes with wittiness of these people, the other hosts,
They're still there on the list. Ellen is also
No,
there.
Ellen is sometimes very the reason I spoke about Ellen is because the three things that we are looking in our show for, where we want common people to be the main aspect of it, where we want to give something to the participants and to the viewers. And I forgot my third one. Yeah,
Social angle.
yeah, and it has a social angle.
ऐसा काफी
And,
बड़ा
no,
मौका है.
and in terms of talent.
नहीं ऐसा
In
बंदा
terms of
करना.
talent or passion, where like she picks up those young children who know all the capitals of all the countries in the world.
Small or the bigger one?
So they are not celebrities. And she hunts them through videos on social media.
Yeah.
So like the way we are trying to look for people through social media or through
Who
our
does this? Ellen?
like someone
Ellen.
who
I haven't actually seen.
like this
Even
little
kids have
girl.
come on her show. Kids send some video, maybe viral dela or whatever. They
But
have
she makes
She
fun of
finds
them.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does that, but at the end of the day, she is giving them something to go back with.
Actually, one more is I used to like is America's funniest moments.
That way, even that impractical jokers,
That is for that.
impractical jokers, just for that,
Impractical jokers हमारा कभी आओ.
they broke up.
They broke up.
It was very stupid. Their team is very stupid.
The show.
He has no phone. He's very.
क्या ना Master Chef
Format. So
Format
competition
work.
you mean. So
If you
people
have
in
a
the show.
Ramsey, then yes. Otherwise it gets boring. Because
So
he's a
now the reason I wanted to ask that is it okay to wrap up is because of all the shows that we have mentioned, two very important similarities in all the shows. One, that it's a known host. And two, no matter what the format of the host is, they have a special where they get a celebrity, which is what pulls the crowd. So they may not have celebrities every day, but that one person is common, which is why they call it a special, and which is why we remember it as special.
So you're right.
But isn't for all of these people, they have celebrities on all of their episodes, no? If you have Coffee with Karan or Kapil Sharma, they have
Not
celebrities on
necessarily.
every
What
show.
we're right now talking about specific of the show, we're talking about format. If you look at the format of
But
episode,
that is what we are trying to create. Right now, there is a saturation into that field. You're right. Is it still working? It is. Saturation thing build up the level. We are coming in the. So just giving you the other side of the story is that we are coming on a very virgin territory. So तिकडे अजून कोणी हात नाही लावलाय. So if Ellen's show असेल, I have not seen it, but if it's really touching on that, I would love to go and say, okay, this is the one that we want to create.
And again, so one of the biggest reasons again that people don't watch Ellen as much now is because she doesn't have celebrities on every show. She has a talk I think she does what, according to my understanding, I think she has alternate shows where she has one where she brings on families, or she does the social cause things, and the other show where she brings on celebrities for a talk.
See, celebrities are always going to sell. There is no doubt
Exactly.
about it.
So
They will always sell.
So coming back to a point where initially we were talking about passion by profession, passion for profession, that no matter what shows we are doing, no matter what shows we find have something worthwhile for us, have a known face basically that you remember.
No, Michael, now this is very internal news. We'll just keep it within this team. So, मागच्या 2 महिन्यामध्ये there were holdings of BJP across the city, and they were targeting very unknown persons, ज्यांनी काहीतरी एक काम केलेलं आहे इन द सोसायटी, आणि त्याला ब्लॉक करून त्यांनी ठेवलेलं, आणि they used to write about that. Alright? Again, it's a very strong media pull that these guys are doing on going in for these guys.
Say that again.
So what they're doing is Avni Awasthi. Alright? She is, let's say she went to Antarctica, आणि त्याच्याबद्दल everybody around Avni is extremely proud of, right? So त्यांनी अवनीला पकडलं आणि अवनीला त्या होर्डिंग वरती टाकलं.
Got it.
For why? Not because you went to Antarctica, but you did something for nature.
Okay.
Preservation of nature.
Got it.
Alright? So त्या टॉपिकला पकडलं आणि अवनीला आणलं.
So like this they did for a lot.
They have done it for almost 50 people, and these are all rickshaw drivers, doctors, social workers, guys who are down the line, sweepers, अशा सगळ्या. Now again the thought behind that is त्यांना तिकडचा जो वोट बँक आहे तो त्यांना पाहिजे.
Of course.
So they are playing. So my point is, Lakshman, R.K. Lakshman, when he created the common man, nobody realized the power of the common man. But when he started writing about the common man, it went places. You understand? So again, perfect. You are absolutely bang on. What sells is a sellable product. So a celebrity is a sellable product. Clear. But the cost of acquisition for that sellable product is also very high.
100%. Which is why until we get to a point where we are selling, where Glyphs CCE by itself is what is sellable. That platform, that name, till the time that is it, we have to leverage these guys, is what I'm trying to say. Because we're getting there. Through everything that we're trying to do, we're trying to, no host, no performer should be the, should overpower Glyphs, right? Glyphs CCE.
Again, तुला एक लक्षात घे, when you are doing that, the host has to be stronger than the celebrity.
Correct.
Right?
Which is why we are saying that the show has to be stronger than anybody.
Correct. I understand. So building those steps is exactly what we need to design.
And in order for us to be able to do that, sometimes we have celebrities, sometimes we have so again, one of the biggest common things between everything here is entertainment. Now Big Boss is, it gives you like you're not going back to sleep with something worthwhile. But you had a good laugh. Or you
Are you serious? Big Boss and Big
whatever,
Boss.
you had a good laugh, or I want gossip, and there's
The
no
show
gossip in my
works,
life.
please. Whether or not we like it, the show
Sometimes
works.
people
Spend
forget
1 and 2 and 3 hours
Crazy
watching
people watching.
back-to-back shows
You can't do more.
in a time of their life, not every
BK का
शुक्रवार.
नाही so आजकाल होता ना बिग बॉस मराठीवर he was told that pack your bags and come for 10 to 12 weeks. So pack your bags for that much time. So he says that it is all reality and stuff, but the channel had told him First line, two hash marks. Final but after a certain point, then it is your skill also. But
Yeah. So basically, entertainment, celebrities, and the fact that your viewers or your performers 100% know that I'm going to go back to this. Like not like, oh, I have gained knowledge, but like they give some gifts, they give some gift vouchers, hampers, or
That's a good point.
and yesterday, what we spoke on, the way we can actually leverage our sponsors, I think also will do really well in terms of our, because it
can you wrote that point now?
Yeah.
She's clueless what we are
She's
talking.
writing.
She's writing.
Chicken. What is happening with you?
Yes.
Advice. What's happening? One evening I let you go and this is what happened.
Yeah.
What happened?
Second
Second. Somehow. I like the packaging, it's so cute.
Chicken style.
It has a...
Almost makes you feel like not eating it.
Not eating.
No, I don't feel it. Already Sankrant doesn't have upas.
He don't have a mother-in-law.
She doesn't.
Chicken. Chicken है तुम्हारा कौन सा आइडिया नहीं क्या?
Chicken, उसमें क्या है chicken?
You don't have chicken, no?
Veg people are not allowed to eat that today. Yeah, but it's chicken. What are you giving me? मैंने एवढं burger नहीं खाना.
Do I read?
Thanks if you don't feel like eating. But I am obliged.
So, the thing that you shouldn't know.
So much emotion you
know
had.
that a girl hit on me. Hold on.
On
In
him?
coffee
Double
nation.
order कौन बसला?
मी चुकून डबल ऑर्डर
You?
Yeah.
Really?
They were all sitting outside in coffee nation. I was sitting inside.
Are you there?
Can you listen to me? I was sitting outside and I was sitting inside. And I tied my bun and all, and I'm coming outside and she's like, wow.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, okay. And they were like, Sumedh आया.
आमचा.
They were at the table and मागे बसला.
वेज
So she had a dog who was 30 days old.
Oh.
So he was like running around and he came to me and said, yeah, go to her and ask that pretty girl what her name is. Please ask her name and come. I said, खूब बड़ा चालू करो, okay?
Veg.
We started talking.
वन वेज चिकन
She came and sat down on Sumedh's table. Her talking to me and overheard through Sumedh and Advait's conversation that our names are Advait and Abhay. And you know, she asked me something she didn't understand. तू लग्न खूप लवकर केलंस.
बेवरेजेस आहे
Okay, ठीक आहे. आणि मग जाताना she called me on my name. मी तुझा divorce होत असेल ना माझ्या सरळासाठी सांग.
Are you serious?
माझा दिवस होत असेल तर?
माझ्या सरळासाठी.
मला?
She's like,
सर्वांसाठी सांग.
even if you're not ready, if you're mentally prepared असशील ना, मला सांग.
Oh my god. Yeah. Once contact her. We want to see what happens next. Hello. I was telling her about a story.
we will go to coffee nation tomorrow
After that,
Please.
after that, Advait.
चल चल
So I was like, she said, लग्न का केलं? I was like, त्याला विचार.
तो तुझा नवरा.
I was like,
Why are you laughing about it then?
what am I supposed to know? She's 20-year-old girl, yeah. What am I supposed to
अच्छा,
do?
20 year?
We stopped her. But she's very pretty. Like, खारे डोळे.
So it's both ways. Are you thinking?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I have
From
always.
tomorrow your meetings happen in my house.
I'm disappointed I'm thinking about
But
it.
for the first time, I
This is
didn't feel
vegetarian.
She was very cute.
है ना
But then she
खूप खाली
और
मुझे
एक
आता
बर्गर भी
है.
है
If you have your car, na,
it's okay, I'm not
we go to
eating.
coffee nation. It's okay. Enjoy. We have free coffee also.
And Nitana is telling Yummy, think about it, I'll treat you better than he treats you. And तेवढाच advice आला. He's like, tell now bro. See, I would never call you bro. And never, I met him. Not even met. It
She'll be
was,
like, you're my pet.
she's telling him, this is what I would not say to her.
हम तब से उसका बात कर रहे हैं
What? Who's
That is a different car.
What's her name?
Adhish.
What? Adi?
Patardhan.
Aditi Patwardhan.
कोण आहे शशांक पटवर्धनची
शशांक
एकरची बहीण.
शशांक एकरची बहीण.
No.
Nate Fuller has that specific cast. Who knows Shashank Ekar is an actor.
Yes. Please contact me.
हो ना, तोच आहे ना रे.
No.
Dream reference.
ऐका जरा एक मिनिट.
I won't act. ते अजून माहिती आहे का?
बाबा तो
आहे. पुष्कळ होती.
तिला प्रभात रोडचे ब्राह्मण असं म्हणायचं होतं.
But she's घारी आहे. It works. This joke works.
This was just instant.
This is much better than the earlier one.
This was the only one.
Tanvi, you're supposed to be a chaperone. What are you doing?
He asked her about me once. I'm fine.
काय?
Oh, then she asked from, is your friend single?
And he's like, no, she's my sister. She didn't say she's not single. She said, no, she's my sister.
And then again she asked, but is she single? I said, no, she is dating someone longer than I've been married.
And then she moved on to other.
Why do I always be such a
Anyways, missed.
हो ना. It's a balances with both ना.
That
ते आंबेडकरची सो गेली ना ती.
I don't think she was interested.
no, she was
Other chicken fries.
focused.
She was hating on me. But I want to meet her again. I'll go prepare this time.
What makes you think I'm going back?
We're not going back to Coffee Nation.
No, we are going back.
We're going one.
No, we are going.
First, you see what happens.
We are meeting tomorrow there only.
Now you don't know the first time they messed up my papaya salad the first time. Today they messed up this. You're not going back to Coffee
MTC
Nation.
पे there's that one guy now who's always there.
He's dropped away.
She's combination का that guy.
अच्छा.
Where everyone knows her.
But a 20-year-old is hitting on you.
He said she's 20 because he stopped her.
She's 2001.
Competition, na? He has to stop.
Competition.
Potential?
I will let go. I will like treat her better. We'll see.
बड़ा stress आ रहा है काम में बस look at her face. I'm saying to shut your mouth.
Why is she stressed?
Shut your
You
mouth.
should be stressed.
Keep your mouth shut.
You should be stressed.
Mama, don't worry. ती आहे तिने सोडलं.
Business continuity plan.
Price
at coffee.
Okay, by the way, I don't want the entire burger. Something needs to share.
चालू करणार. फोन ना कोणतरी.
You know what my father used to do at such times? He used to pass it on saying prasad. And he used to be like, that's what he used to do and he used to call. Agni, you know that lady who had walked in when you were walking out? Madhuri who gave you the chocolate?
Yeah.
She walked out just now.
Shit, crazy.
Maybe I got so used. You know, double patty in this. Wow.
That is still easy.
double packing, not packing.
Are there straws by any chance?
काय वेळ
Straw.
तिकडे हे आहे का?
Guys, anyone want scoop?
You should say no to drugs. Exactly. Oh wait, I can't hear about it anymore.
This is done with antidote. Wow.
I now have backup plan.
This is antidote.
प्रियंका
I don't think I'll ever stop me.
1 year he followed up with her.
तुम्ही केलं का?
He missed it.
I didn't mean to be. I didn't mean to read.
सगळे थोडं पैसे
Did you read Universal's group today? No, why is the fun group? Official one नाही. Feedback about your slur. Confirmation झाले का group वर?
Still a veg burger.
Everybody has said today that for one confirmation.
मी चुकून होतो order.
If you have another extra book.
थोडा वेळ लागेल.
त्याला म्हणे अरे आम्ही सगळं नॉनव्हेज ऑर्डर केलं
There's an extra veg burger.
Mine also extra. Extra prasad.
I don't want non-veg. I don't want veg.
Even I don't want veg.
Non-veg okay ka?
All thumbs and claps
Chicken fries
and
is normal fries.
glitters on the group.
All that.
what इडली आहे ना
I don't know. Shall we keep it by the end of the meeting? Maybe you will want to have another bite. You do what I really.
काय ते?
Coke.
चला चला, let's continue.
I'll send you here.
Next point on the agenda.
I never remember.
What works? What does it work?
Guys, someone wants Coke. Where is?
Where one more?
Yeah, there's one more guy.
Wait.
Coke.
Is that sauce there in this?
One मोठा वेळ तिकडे आहे another burger.
No, I want this.
Why is Parag Saranse not
No,
coming
no,
by
no.
here? He's not
There's
coming.
another burger.
He's not there. That's a big problem. Avni, someone drinks there.
I'm yelling at the top of my voice there is extra.
Wait a minute.
इतना नहीं जाएगा मेरे को.
Tanu,
But नहीं
extra.
जाएगा.
Tanvi.
Yeah, it's not extra. It's extra.
Extra.
I never say extra.
Extra.
No, I just stress on the word extra. Because that's what he said. I don't say. I just prove that you are ancestral.
Incentive नहीं रहता है.
I'm not here. Not yet. Wait, nice. That's the one I tell you after so long.
safe
Not yet. You can stay away from your husband for about a couple of hours. You have a lot more people hitting on you. He's in your pocket.
So you're saying I should-
throughout the day.
I know that.
You should experiment.
Listen, my mother will go running out and pulling me out.
Price not
What's she has, bro?
She messaged me at night. She messaged me at night.
एक्झॅक्टली थोडंसं
I'll
इंटेन्स
tell you.
थोडं इंटेन्स
Checky and
What words?
You pass your number to her. Then you write it on a tissue paper. Tissue paper मध्ये घेऊन तो असं
8 of 9 यार. You didn't find each other.
दिलं झालं आता डायरेक्ट DM
There is considering it.
Now it's DM.
Alright. Next part of the agenda. Your phone. Hello?
Next part of the agenda is like kind of coming about what didn't work in the current setup and what can we take out from
Can I?
these.
Okay. Get rid of this.
Yeah, photo काढून दे ना.
I've written down everything.
So the purpose of making this list was only to arrive at celebrity earning.
Also because we written that and so we can have a look at it and we can.
The reason also give some of the reasons कि का work होता है, का interactions होता है, competitions होता है, कि बाद में celebrity. There's a segment like you said, segmentation.
No, but apart from the celebrity angle, what is that? What is it that works? Because We are anyway not a very celebrity prone kind of a setup. So from the lot of whatever we pulled out, what would work?
Well, this LN thing is pretty close to.
I think can that be a task for all of us, that we watch at least one episode of that and homework together?
There's no point giving that homework.
I will invite all of you in the TV.
So guys, let's do it tomorrow now.
Yeah, I'll invite you to the TV.
We will watch shows and come for a
We don't take time. But we don't have an episode. Because I'm like, this is happening, so we can record it tomorrow.
So maybe not
But we all have to come to
tomorrow. Is it
office.
okay for us to watch it by Monday, or rather the next session?
I
Or
mean,
maybe
just
even-
It'll be too late by then.
If you
because
can-
it's a different agenda.
Yeah.
If you can, just scroll
So
through it.
15 minutes of work.
Just scroll through it. Just to see.
We'll watch it at office now. 15 minutes.
Ellen was a lesbian also, no? Just asking. But Malik, no? 3 years back.
This is
With audio. I'm just considering a fact.
Not just now, no.
Are you trying to get me out of the closet right now?
Facts of the show.
You know what? We are looking for a young host.
I also had the opportunity to cut my hair.
No, that's okay. Keep the hair. Keep the hair.
You'll do it for the other
Ellen
part.
also has a nice
But Ellen is the boy in their relationship.
Why do
No, she was like, I won't treat you like this. That's a boy thing.
So cute, Dave. Let's do a show now and go to them. That friendship, that correspondence. No, but honestly, just think about
Don't
it.
take it too hard. I
All
let
this.
you first.
No, it's okay.
What do you do?
We will do a show just to let them know.
Yeah, Nidhi, you serious to the meeting.
That conversation will be very interesting.
Mama, now you have to say young ladies.
Shut up.
I heard.
It was the first time that in my life I said STFU to Tanvi. And I said, what is STFU? And I was like,
Excuse me, this is background. You were studying history. And the middle of
I said, wait.
Hey, do this conversation later.
No, wait. Tanvi, what did I say?
Sweet Tanvi for you.
Yeah, I was like, sweet Tanvi for you. And Mama said, oh, so sweet. Later she realized, shut the fuck up. Okay, alright. Go on.
Coming back.
Arshad, stop lying. Please, come on.
I enjoy. माझा मीच क्लास घेणार आहे उलटा.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
बोला.
Okay, so this is basically to understand what are the segments that you like. If you can keep going through, scroll through parts of
LN is just one part of it. But other than that, Kapil Sharma show, apart from the entertainment aspect, which is a very subjective part, what is in it, probably the set of it.
Say what? या सगळ्या shows मध्ये ना, what I explained, there is an event or they create situations. Each situation is built, or rather the different situations are just weaved in together. So if we want to make it entertaining, and that's what we had actually thought when we started this, at any point of time, if a viewer starts watching the show, they should enjoy.
Okay.
So I think we made it too much of a monologue kind of thing. जिकडे 4 questions and 4 performances or whatever. म्हणजे I'm just saying that त्या content मध्ये how do you maybe evolve?
So say you don't want very serious structure.
we should try. Right now it's too serious.
You don't want the serious.
It's
No,
not
we
only
should- we
serious,
should.
if you come to think of
Would
it,
it
it's
make
also
a
a little
difference?
monotonous. Now that you know,
to both the performers at the same time. म्हणजे तो एक आणि तो असं जो वेगवेगळं होतं ना,
माझे पॅशन्सच वेगळे आहेत ना आणि एरियाजच वेगळे आहेत.
नाही नाही अरे ते डिस्कनेक्ट होतो.
No, but when we had Hemangi and Apu's episode, wherein Hemangi spoke about
Area and
area
that area the
and
dance.
Apurva performed dance of that particular geography in India. That flew very well.
Which means we have to put in the
That
right
gelled
airs.
very well. So by what he means is, at the moment, literally दोन तुकडे आहेत. 1 2 3 4 प्रश्न, 1 2 3 4
आणि
परफॉर्मन्सेस.
1 2 3 4 प्रश्न संपले की अर्धा ऑडियन्स ड्रॉप आउट होतो.
हाँ होतो. Because if I am here for
Or you,
I will come and I will ask you at what time you will be up.
yeah.
I'll log in there, and then if I see that Bharatnatyam, it's okay. I'm not that interested. I'll drop out. Secondly, performers वाले जे आहेत, they'll say 5:30 ला ठीक आहे मी 5:25 ला log in करतो. Anyways, I'm not interested in the interview part. So this definitely happens. If we have combination, then the interaction increases. That the host is interacting with guest A, the host is interacting with guest B. From an audience perspective, oh, I am interested in guest B's third performance. He still has to listen through guest A's question number 2 and question number 3 as well.
नाही
He can't drop out.
आणि ऑल्सो हा जो फॉर्मॅट मी आता म्हणलो ना, त्याच्यात आय फील अ लिटल इनफॉर्मॅलिटी विल इन्क्रीज. एक सेकंड, बिकॉज बोथ द परफॉर्मर्स आर टुगेदर, they might also have a perspective to share.
Yeah.
So if I am being asked a question and Avni is along with me, I answer that question, but Avni may have a perspective to that. He may
त्यांचं interaction सुद्धा can happen.
Since we are talking about this, I have a question here. I don't know if it's relevant at this stage, but please put it down. I want a little bit of spontaneity when the guests are answering. When the guests are answering. But in that spontaneity, I also don't want them to lose energy when they are talking. How do we ensure if I ask a question, there is that answer coming in with energy and happiness and spontaneity? Because we are having too many practice sessions, the spontaneity part of it is completely missing. पण आता तुला retake allow
So
होईल ना?
now because we are moving away from, hopefully
Correct.
we are moving away from a
From live
live
episodes,
thing.
correct.
This can happen, and because we are recording, we
पण
can
त्यांना थोडं जास्त बोलू दे
prep
किंवा
them.
आपण edit
Yes.
करूया. Okay.
also
Basically, you can end up having fun. You're not
Let's have
formalized,
fun.
you're
We'll
not
pick out
stressed
only the
that
snippets
people
out of
are
that.
watching you and you have to be
And
in your
efficient
zone,
time and
yeah.
we can't
Correct.
go wrong kind
and
of.
the other thing is, right now we have to get those 4 questions out of the way, those 4 answers from them. It is very serious. Now we can even split
Make
the
fun.
questions into smaller chunks. Again, this is same thing which we were talking about from the interview perspective. It makes it easy for the other person to have that interaction.
हा जास्त प्रश्न असते तर one liners but witty किंवा
Yes.
And more than witty also, what is happening, something I mentioned even earlier, what happens otherwise, because the host has to ask that question, so the host takes about 30 to 40 seconds to ask that question.
But then you forgot what the question
No, and multiple times I've seen the guest start answering and then the host is still not finished asking the question. You start again and then the host, they go back again. So after that, about 2 or 3 minutes, it's the guest who keeps talking. So even in that,
So I still feel that in terms of to avoid, because the reason again we have to ask the questions because the audience needs to have
we
a
ask the question, but
needs to have a perspective of what context you're asking the question in. So we give a backstory to it. You know this
Backstory is fine.
So in terms of that, again, instead of taking follow-up calls with them so many times where they know कि अच्छा they're asking me these questions, when they're going to ask me these questions on the show.
फॉलोअप कॉल्स एवढे नाही होत आपले.
Whatever. So you're basically trying to say that even if you have one call, then you have a conversation with them. that is what is probably losing out the spontaneity in them answering questions, even if it's one call, not two calls, three calls.
No, actually it is helping them to review
I
their
think what happens is the way people switch this. So what's your point? What I'm trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is, तुझे करना विचारते हो, तुझे करना विचारता what it is. That is again going back to our first conversation where we said that you get all that down on paper, you make them answer in text. So you gather information. So you gather information from them and you ask them. So they are not prepared.
So one thing which I feel in this aspect is when we ask them one question, okay? So we tell them that, suppose giving my mom's example, okay? Her passion was draping a saree. So she spoke about 3 different ways that she draped a saree, and that was one question. Different ways of draping a saree. That was one question where she spoke about 3 or 4 of them, okay? What we usually tell the participants is make a note of all the points that you have to say, okay? So in front of her, she either writes the full listing or she makes pointers. That's right, Gujarati saree, South Indian saree, ye hai, wo hai, wo hai. Because of which what is happening is, they're so scared that they don't miss out on saying anything. So they either end up reading it or then they just speak it so fast that let us just finish it. So making those points that they are telling the participants to do, as against that the host has those pointers. As a conversation, you went west, you spoke about this.
Now that we are doing this recording thing,
लॉंगचा प्रश्न नाहीये हे पार्टिसिपंट्स जे आहेत ना सगळे एकतर हे अमेच्युअर असल्यामुळे दे हॅव नॉट स्पोकन इन फ्रंट ऑफ द कॅमेरा एव्हर सो दॅट बिकम्स अ मॅटर ऑफ यु नो टेन्शन फॉर देम
lot of times त्याने आम्हाला सांगितलंय की because you guys made us comfortable we were able to speak.
No, but which is what I'm trying to say. This thing where we prepare them to be XYZ point घेऊन ठेवा. Instead of that, through the conversation that you have or through the information that you gather, you make those points, and while they are answering, you make that point here, like you said, अच्छा, I saw you travel to this part of the world. How's the experience there? And if you guys are still considering not going online, you know, if you want to do a pre-recorded thing, you can always cut it down.
Correct.
But what is more important right now is the enthusiasm with which they answer. It cannot be I asked you a question, you answered me a question.
It does.
So you're saying that if they know the question beforehand, there's a problem?
Yeah, because
Yeah, that's so 100% sure. You never
when they asked us questions on the show, they didn't. They had told us.
It was live.
They took all our information from social media, from YouTube, from wherever. They made us pointers, and based on those pointers, they asked us questions.
Okay, now I'll give you an example of
I didn't
where
know
they
on the
lose
show
energy.
when I walked in, they had an introduction question answer round with us. They didn't know that as soon as I walked into this show, the first question is going to ask, bro, तू show पे आया है वो अलग बात है, पर अरे तूने रिंग घुमा दी. Like we had casually mentioned this, not them.
Yeah.
It caught me
Now,
off
my
guard.
point is to Mandar's wine wala Mandar. Okay? When we spoke to Mandar, actually before the show, he was brilliant. Some of the things that he shared.
Yeah.
In the show, he was not as effective. Go back and watch the show.
I was watching Amit Lomte's show right now. He is looking down. He is reading every single thing.
Amit
The
Lomte was a
information that he had.
he's in the neuroscience. He collects coins. Okay. When he spoke about it, when we were taking his practice sessions, the kind of stuff he told us was amazing. But again, because he had to finish in those 20 minutes, what he put there was not as effective as
And whatever those 20 minutes.
It was also about whether it had to. He shouldn't forget whatever he has to say. He shouldn't. Anand Shinde for that matter.
Even Anand Shinde.
Anand Shinde was so
The telephone
brilliant.
whisperer.
Like we didn't want to stop his call. I think it went for 1.5 hours where he kept talking about this element ka experience, that element ka
Imagine
experience.
he does
On
this on
the
live.
show, exactly.
नहीं,
On the
दूसरा
show,
प्रश्न-
he was so.
I have a question,
clear.
I have a
एक दूसरा
question.
क्वेश्चन विचारतो इकडे. Have we ever recorded these practice
Practice calls
calls?
sometimes for us to form the question.
So-
No, which is okay, but now going back, can we look at it when is there any difference in the delivery of the host during the practice call and the live call?
Of course, there's going to be.
Because
and
you guys
that
are
makes
so chill.
that might have made the performer a little
So
uncomfortable.
let me ask you guys a question. Live show. How many of you guys have you watched the live show?
नहीं कळलं.
Like the way you guys have done a live show on, like you practice and then you go online and you watch it live as it's happening. How many of you actually watched live shows before?
Or a person.
Or a person?
कुठलाही लाईव्ह शो.
काय आहे?
Who did you watch?
एक तर आमच्याच ह्याच्यावरती आलो तो अग्नीचा जो
No, he's seen some other show besides Glyphs.
Besides-
no, besides Glyphs ना तो आपला तो अग्नी बरोबर तो सिंधी कोण होता? आशिष does a lot of Insta live.
Insta live, okay? Now he doesn't have an agenda before he comes on the live. He just feels like it and he comes on the live. The reason why all these
No, he does it with. He does an interview.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ashish
So
was
those
one
are
of the
also
guys who told us, don't tell me what you're going to ask.
exactly.
Just ask
So the
exactly.
reason why
He's one of the guys who said
NTV,
that.
Wood,
Yeah.
KBC,
He said,
all
let's
these
just
guys
keep
work
it at that point.
is not because they have a good team and blah blah blah. The concept of that is that they don't have to do anything live.
Even during TEDx talks.
It's
when
never
we
live.
give talks, after that when there are question answer sessions happening, they have the organizing committee has already got questions from the people, but they don't tell us the questions because we know that we are going to give
They
a
know
standard
which
answer.
filter, which
So
to
this
filter on
brings us to the question ki physical shows versus digital shows. What is the different kind of approach that you're going to take? Because right now what you're doing with digital, you should have done physically.
So again,
The format.
The reason that I think all of us just forgot to mention the reason. 20 minutes. Because it is 20 minutes, we had to do the practice calls and we had to tell
so
them
that
that
we don't overshoot.
that in a set of 4 to 5 minutes, finish your.
So
And because
again,
they are not
So,
professionals
isn't that a
again, they otherwise
restraint
what
for
happens
content?
is they keep saying the
So
same
we
thing
can
over
change
and
it.
over again.
See,
because
but
they are
change
not
never there.
professionals.
Maza
I'm
breakup
driving
That's why
it
you also have
towards
practice calls
it's
so that
physical
quality over
That's
data
fine.
So
That's
versus
fine.
digital
So-
show.
So I'll tell you.
How can we divide that? Because your end goal is to create a physical audience out of this.
Correct. But that physical audience and the structure of the meetup for that is going to be completely different.
Exactly. So why is there a difference in that? And then why bring a physical show onto digital?
wait 1 minute. Let me answer. I have a point before you get to
Sorry to
physical
cut
and digital also. Now, why it's just so much easier to deal with girls.
shut up.
Okay. So now when you have a 20 minutes bracket, for a performer to fill that 20 minutes is very easy because you're performing. It's a visual delight to have you know do something. But when it comes to a person who's sharing knowledge, you guys first he shares knowledge and then based on that you guys ask him questions. Correct? Now Amit and I were having a conversation about this earlier today. A TEDx talk is basically knowledge sharing.
Correct.
And that is not like अरे मैंने गूगल पे से छापा तो मैं उसको बोल रहा हूँ. It's
Personal
your
experience.
experience
Correct.
based and knowledge sharing together.
Yeah.
Based on your experience तुम्हें काय knowledge share करता है, which is basically what you guys, your knowledge sharers do as well. But those 18 TEDx का time slot is 18 minutes.
18 minutes, correct.
But those 18 minutes, that entire audience, so when they get the performer on board, they ask us to write points.
You have to send a write-up to them.
No, listen to me. They ask us to first write points and then they ask us to write a script.
Correct.
Okay? Now later I understood the reason they want a script is because they give you a prompter where you can read from. So my first thing, for my first TEDx, I gave them a script. I followed the exact script. But that was physical. For the next 2 TEDx that I gave, what did I feel? वैसे भी digitally है ना, मैं पढ़ लूँगी. So my second thing, although I gave them a script, I was reading. And when I watched my own video of the TEDx, I could see that I'm reading. Because they as an organizer told me कि नहीं तुम्हारी हाथ script ला, you have to stick to it.
What's
You're
your
not
point
taking
in
the
this?
point. The point is that they got me so psyched about what I have to say that you have to follow a script that I could. I took it so casually that हाँ ठीक है यार Stage pe I know there are people, so I can't look down. Digital pe we say na ki I can manage it. So same with the knowledge sharing.
Correct.
Either
And I gave her first TED talk at Manipal. She had her pages ready with it written, but because she was reading, she was talking extempore. It was much more impactful.
You feel more connected to the
Interaction.
content.
So now coming to that situation, interaction when you don't have a script is much higher than with a
But
script.
for my third TED talk that I gave, I told them very clearly that I'm not going to follow a script because I realized to listen to it. And I didn't give them
So
a
like
script.
first, like
I
she's
said,
saying
I will
right
give
now,
you pointers.
if sorry to cut you, what she's saying right now is that without a script, her interaction with her audience was much higher than with a script.
Correct.
Correct.
So
Because
in short,
I had
in short,
points.
So point taken.
Huh.
What we are trying to come to a point is that and spontaneity is what is missing, and we should build that up on the show.
But don't think of building it up and build it up.
Because it's not live.
So the performers may not know what we are building
Yes.
up.
Episode be recorded.
The performers don't know anything except with the fact that they have to talk to you.
How do you tell them how much time they have left?
No, that's okay. So
Also,
that's
what-
I don't know
what
if
is
any
the-
of you know this point. One of the instructions which we give to each performer is, while you are talking, I'm going to quote what we keep saying.
If we
While you are talking, I will not utter anything in between except for a simple word here and there, like wow, good, nice, etc. etc. At any given point of time, if I utter a complete sentence, please take it as a cue that you are overshooting and you need to wind up. There is no other way of telling them on the
No,
show that
don't
you're
you-
talking
don't
too
be
much.
sensitive.
This won't even happen.
That I understand, which is really
they don't
nice.
see it. They are not looking at the. अरे ते खूप tense असतात.
Are they get into a zone because live
आणि
live
तिकडे त्याला
plays
सांगितलेलं
put
असतं
stress on
मोबाईल्स
you.
सायलेंट मोबाईल्सला ऑफ करून ठेवा, कोणी फोन नाही करायला
It's too
पाहिजे.
stressful, the live thing. So more than delivering your message, you get stressed about whether you should deliver in that time,
In
whether
that
I'm doing
time or
right or
not.
wrong. Are people talking to me,
आम्ही त्यांना
listening to me?
सांगतो
All
की
this
समोर
comes.
टायमर ठेवा, बघा, नाही करत.
Of course.
So this comes down to what is the time limit? Why do you guys set that particular time limit? What is the reason?
We won't finish in time otherwise.
No, finish in time. If you don't set a time, you'll never finish in time. My question is, what is a 1 hour? Why do you give it a 1 hour? Like, how did you break it down? Like, what are the reasons? Ki 20 minutes.
Initial
Yeah.
ideas about
We
breaking
knew
it 20
that
minutes, 30
anything
minutes.
exceeding 1 hour is a flop. So we decided 1 hour.
How did you decide? Acha, in your experience.
Just.
No, it is
No,
not.
otherwise
Verification we did. Can we go beyond 1 hour? No. So we have to be 1 hour.
Yeah, average मध्ये
It's
पुढे
very
पुढे पुढे
good.
बसू
Kind
शकत
of
नाही.
put down things, you
ते कुठला तो
know. This
बोलली
takes
तो?
so much time, this takes so much,
कुठला
20
तो show बोलली
minutes.
समजा?
So
I
at
saw.
any point did you interact with the audience asking
The
them
way I
how
see
long
it.
were they?
It's simple
Yeah, I
like
see
this.
it.
The way I see it. 1 hour.
You never spoke to your
त्याच्यामध्ये
audience.
त्याच्यामध्ये the way I see it 20 20 20
Okay.
20 for Glyphs, 20 for one performer, 20 for the second performer. Finish.
From yesterday's discussion, I have one question and one observation. First, आपण काल sponsors बद्दल बोललो आणि आपण sponsorsना काय देतो ते. Now, how many external sponsors have we got? External,
Not part of the Glyphs
not
team.
part of the Glyphs team. Because I see Poshak,
No.
I see
Community,
ये पैसे अरे एक कवडी
non-community. हे म्हणते non-community. म्हणजे आज कविता फुल डिसअपॉइंटेड हॅज टू बी क्लिअर सगळे
next episode.
सो आताच्या याच्यामध्ये हे जे सो सी आय थिंक what we were trying to do is create something for the sponsors की कसं दिसेल and the second objective was ki our team members should let's give them the visibility part of it.
Them first and then others. So that's how we started with the team logos and participants.
So आता आपल्याकडे स्पॉन्सर्स पेड स्पॉन्सर्स किती आहेत असे 10 12 15
Platinum, 2 gold, 4 platinum, 2 gold.
एक 6-7 स्पॉन्सर्स आहेत. Where I'm coming to is, are we comfortable with these sponsors to ask them questions as to have they actually gone back that the data that we
I
have shared?
just did that today.
Yesterday, that's what she asked me. That's what I'm telling you. That conversation that we had about.
First thing is of the data that you've given them, how many people have actually used that data?
It's about have these sponsors already actually gone back?
So that's
What is the
that's what they haven't done.
response that
They haven't done that. They haven't done that. They haven't done that. Because of less competition.
Do you take names की तुम्ही सगळेचा एपिसोड बघायला आला होता ऑन ग्लिफ्स वगैरे समथिंग ऑफ दॅट सॉर्ट दॅट दे आर नॉट डुइंग त्यामुळे ऑडियन्सला रिकॉल व्हॅल्यू ओनली ऑफ ग्लिफ्सचा पर्सेंटेज खूप कमी आहे when they say की you will come on this episode and वगैरे वगैरे थोडा तिथे डिस्कनेक्ट आहे which is why conversions तर सोडून दे the first step itself takes a lot of time for them to remember की हाँ मी तिकडे
ह्याच्यामध्ये तर I think one of the best things that they can do is say कि okay you had attended and we have a gift.
Exactly, that's what I told them. कि इसलिए that's why we told offers
Yesterday's conversation ना you're picking up.
अरे not us रे आपलं done deal झालं ते.
झालं ना done आहे ना.
Yeah.
you're giving us gifts after episode.
You of course you're to getting gifts every time.
Chai.
Chai to you guys are getting. We get tinga.
So that.
सो काय त्यांचं काय आलं त्यांच्याकडनं स्पॉन्सर्स कडनं काय आलं
Not converted or anything yet, and plus they recall us of the other person of glyphs that's how I got this call. That percentage is very very low, but another reason for it is also that if the episode has happened today, the person has called them after 15-20 days.
So conversion is a different thing, but they contacted though that
They actually contacted.
So have you ever asked them a question why they're sponsoring? Like, do you know why they're sponsoring? What is their takeaway from this?
That's what I'm trying to find out now.
because the way we are speaking आणि काल तू जसं म्हणालीस की is that 25-30 का list a good enough gajar for me to sponsor. Simple.
So
That is what I'm coming
the
to.
conversation we had yesterday. She asked me straight up कि if you wanted to
हाँ,
sponsor that.
ये तो अपन
So
बोलो.
35 people का email IDs, phone numbers and data.
Correct.
Why would I go for that versus if I spend that 5-10,000 on Facebook marketing or any other kind of marketing?
Correct.
So that's the conversation that we had yesterday.
So in terms of recall for that advertisement or eventually conversions from that data, there are other elements also that will come into question, right? When is the data getting shared? When are they calling? What are they talking on
Too
that
many
call?
nitty-gritties.
Yeah, many elements. So
Correct.
I'm yet to arrive at what is working.
But that
पण म्हणजे
formulated
does
in a
it
way
come
की-
to get us to a point
we can also
whether
formulate in a way
direct
that
marketing or direct
work for them.
जो aspect है is not working here. So probably we need to offer our sponsors something else which is not so direct. Is what I'm getting to.
Something else in the sense, even other
मला
than
माहित
the-
मला
other
आता माहिती मी
competition
just
Yesterday we spoke na ki with incentive. What do you mean the incentive?
Yeah.
Ki not only the name but the sponsor gets a chance to interact with the audience by giving them a gift. Like he said, I'll give you a gift.
And when you announce that gift and when that person comes and says congratulations, has to be the sponsor.
So interaction मध्ये involves the sponsor also, not just face value.
So the host doesn't only say ki, okay now this
We
is the
don't
winner.
show the sponsors during the show at all. But pre-post, because you don't want to drive attention from the show to the sponsor.
So what happens to the advertisement slots?
That's what we'll figure out when we create the show flow.
आपण मी म्हणून म्हटलं ते काय करायचं ते मला माहित नाही आता.
Right now we
Probably
can
we'll have to a little think about it and decide. पण I'm just thinking whether the value, because audience तर एक पॉइंट आहे, दुसरा पॉइंट आहे ती स्पॉन्सर्सना पण आपल्याला व्हॅल्यू द्यायची at the end of the day.
I'll give you a simple example. When you're watching a TV show, you're very interested in watching it, and suddenly an ad appears. No matter whether you want to see it or not, you will be like, I don't want to see this anymore, even if that product is related to you. So the placements are the question, whether you want to put it before the show, after the show, or not in the show at all. That's why the concept of no ad films have come on TV now. They have ads only in the middle of
One
two
break
movies
movie.
now.
One break,
Not-
one break kind of thing.
Not between movies, because they realize that even if they spend money in the middle of a movie, even their maximum viewership,
Like changing
zero
channels,
conversion.
switching channels.
Even for radio, if you observe nowadays, until the host changes the channel, like in their the same radio channel, till then there are no ads. Even on radio nowadays.
As in the show
We
changes.
had actually had this conversation earlier where we said कि bore होता
We
है.
were
Even
actually
आम्हाला
thinking,
सुद्धा
हाँ,
bore
कि
होता है to
बोला because audience is switching on
हाँ.
आम्हाला वाटलं होतं.
But we didn't know what to do if not this. So that's how
We
we
actually
continued.
thought it,
Yeah.
We'll figure that out now.
That we thank you.
Well, physical?
What else?
Physical ना now?
नाही
Right.
आपण ह्याचं मी बोलू ना सीझन 2 मध्ये काय दिसायला पाहिजे सो नाव लेट्स whatever has happened आतापर्यंत आपण पास्ट आणि त्याचे एक्सपिरियन्सेस याच्यावर बोललो नाव लेट्स कम टू व्हॉट इज गोइंग टू कम इन द नियर फ्युचर ओके what are we comfortable with the duration of the show now going season 2 pre-recorded आहे सगळं
But that we'll figure out once we have our set, like we said. ते सगळं content आता नको. We'll just
But
talk
we
about.
want to go backward. First, if we decide the time, then we go backward. And
Yeah,
see
so
what fit
that
in
we'll
time.
reach when we decide what
All
right
we
now.
want to put
Yeah,
basically.
whatever we want to put. Whether each show has to have the same format or each week is one format and then next week we have a different. Like that is when we figure out ki what is our
Common
end.
thread, na, Pandari.
So
Yeah,
that's it.
generally,
That we'll figure out.
All the
Content
shows
we'll
which we
figure out.
return here had a common thread.
Ah.
Always. Like it is not digressing every time, every week. It has a common thread, but it had sometimes segments, it had something special.
What we need to figure out is what is the end goal. Like yesterday, I think we said community. What is the driving agent for all these episodes? What do we want our audience to take away from the show?
Not only take away, but come back
Or-
or make a conversation
Yeah.
on the
Okay,
space and then kind of grow towards it.
I know we don't want to probably focus on the participant or the host as the star of the show, but the host is one unifying factor for all the episodes, right? So if we have different hosts, can every episode hosted by a Kavi or a Parag, that will be something different. So if Parag is hosting an episode, there is one segment in that thing which will happen only when
When
Parag
Parag.
is hosting.
Correct.
The other thing will happen when only
Correct,
Kavi is
correct.
hosting.
And then there'll be a special episode where both of them come together and start having a conversation about that.
Correct.
Very true.
So
So what is the audience getting out of that? Entertainment, interaction.
Correct.
Like what is the end goal? Like she said, you wanted to create a community.
Are and on tomorrow?
Oh,
I have to go early in the morning and do all that something.
Pinder.
How like
Pinder?
Pinder
What?
Yeah, got harbara.
But she doesn't actually.
She's not, but I mean I think somehow I.
What you just said.
Ellen?
Ellen, what does she do at the end of the show?
So at the end of the show, she basically gives away gifts like the way Ezra used to give away gifts, and she basically gives like a big check or something like that to the participant.
The point of her show is to give a platform to the people who cannot.
Yeah. So someone who's maybe been really ill, or someone who has a really great talent, or some kid who's 2 years old but knows all the capital of all the countries in the world. She gets them on, and because he does
Publicity,
that, then
basically.
she gets his parents on and gives them a gift, and then at the end of the show she gives all the contestants a gift.
Research from this.
Yeah.
Correct. So what is that research that Glyphs wants to get into? Like that's why we asked in the beginning, is it entertainment, inspiration, a bit of both?
If we need
What
to
is
get the
the-
audience back, we need to have a lot of
Not back. Back to that is
takeaway.
the takeaway.
That takeaway will happen if we also have some
No,
research.
like what is the reason why if we do a physical meeting of Glyphs, why would they want to come? Because that is the end goal.
And we've spoken about this earlier, remember? And you said it's passion. I don't think that is enough to get them there. There's
Exactly.
something with that which we will have to find out what is it that the audience will come for.
Can the one of the takeaways of the show be, now I'm trying to get a balance between entertainment and inspiration. The first discussion that we had. When we are talking about the kind of interaction that the audience is going to have in the show, can the end goal be come back to the show? Yes, of course, that is what we want. But can the end goal also be that I get inspired to interact with my own passion first? In the sense, in yesterday's example, when we said, ki, okay, I have a space on a Facebook wall where I'm doing whatever I want. I'm engaging with myself and my virtual friends.
Correct.
Similarly, if I can take away something, inspiration, I'll call it inspiration right now. If I can take back that one small point of inspiration which makes me want to interact with my own passion, because of which I will want to keep coming back.
Now, taking this point ahead, does Glyphs CCE give me a separate platform for myself to get this? But it is still the digital show, no? I don't get to come to it. It has inspired me to pursue my passion in my own way.
To interact with my passion.
Interact with my
just
passion. Pursue, interact, whatever attributes. But does that qualify me to be a part of Glyphs CCE, the show, as a performer? It does not.
Okay, right now it does not, but
are we actually talking about getting the person back as a performer?
No.
Sorry, picking up from what she said now, I like that fact where you get inspired to interact with your own passion. So maybe if towards the end of the show or something, we kind of give a theme. I think this is something we had discussed earlier. So it could be flowers, it could be anything. So if the theme for the week or the fortnight, whatever, is flowers. So for a photographer, he has to probably go and click pictures of flowers. Somebody who's an artist can draw flowers. Somebody who's a writer can write about different kinds of flowers and things like that. And that special segment.
We show, so we take people's entries coming in and we show it on the next show. This is what people have written about the show and stuff like that. You want to see it in detail, you can see it on our social media. And this week's theme would be whatever. So in that way, whoever has even given a contribution to that particular theme will come back to the show to see that.
But that's only for that, because over here the hero is not becoming Glyphs, it's becoming that particular art form. What is the incentive for me to submit it to Glyphs? Why should I give him a painting of flowers?
You pick a best one and show it on one of the episodes.
No, but why should I give it to you? Just because
I
want people to see my painting?
Yeah, right now common people don't
also.
See, that's what.
But that's the media aspect, isn't it?
That's where community driven thing comes, because people you don't want to give them this idea. The community says that we have so many artists or we have so many people, do something for us.
So it is like running that photo of the week in trippers.
Correct.
Photo of
exactly.
The week. So it is by people who have posted.
You don't drive this, because the moment you drive this, then you have deliverables to your community.
Yeah.
But if the community drives it, then you just have to watch as Glyphs to give them a platform. That's what Glyphs is.
But then unless and until we initiate something and lets people know that we are here if you want to do something in that area, what will they write?
Glyphs CCE, one of your products is the show. What is another space where you can generate this for the community on their own?
CCE.
Facebook group.
Something like a Facebook group.
Or
Insta Live. Or a clubhouse. Where you just host and the community talks. They're not performers, they're not audience. There is no separation in that. Everybody can have a conversation. So you don't take responsibility for driving the community.
But then if there are already so many avenues for people to talk in that community group, why will they pay a membership for CCE then? They're already doing their stuff.
No. आता आपण membership वर नको बोलू.
I'm just trying to come to that.
They won't.
See, understand where I am coming from. This is going to be a journey. Now if you want to build an audience, okay, that audience has to be converted into a community of passionate people. That
which ultimately has to take memberships.
What do you pay a membership for?
Sorry?
When you get something back?
Huh.
In the community, you won't have to pay. We'll create another platform where if you want even more interaction, like Town Square, where you want to sell, you're so passionate, you made a profession, now you want to sell it.
Correct.
Then you bring them on to Town Square. You have direct audience over there for Town Square.
so simple example is
That
BNI.
connects. The dots are connected.
It's a community of entrepreneurs. But do I get?
But you still pay now.
Do I get? But what do I get in return?
Trippers, take for example.
What do I get in return? Is
Network.
PO, trippers, these are communities. They are not platforms. They became platforms after the community was built. Where the community said ki create a PO card or create a trippers discount coupon. Then the trippers and the PO guys said, "ठीक है, let's decide to create a commercial value out of this. And whoever is a part of PO gets a PO card if you pay 150 rupees. And then you get discounts at PO ke partners."
PO partner restaurant.
How did that happen? After they created a community which was driving itself. He didn't have to say anything. Trippers is a very fresh example of that.
Even Pulo is the same thing.
Exactly.
Pulo, Game
But
Party.
these guys are not a platform. Like they don't create content, they don't interact with their audience, they don't bring people.
Ultimately, what is the motto of the show that we are currently hosting? Is to somewhere build an audience which at some stage gets transformed into a community of passionate people and who are loyal to Glyphs CCE in some way. So they pay some kind of a loyalty. Correct? That's what we are getting, that's what we want to achieve.
And where you're saying talk about memberships, na, that is a physical meeting wala aspect. You don't have a PO where you get discounts. You are so passionate about it that you want to pay. So the question of why will they pay is not something that we need to answer.
Is what we thought earlier too before Town
Execution,
Town Square,
but the timing, the community, it didn't make sense at that point in time. It was a great idea. But the community that you had at that point in time, like she said, is passion enough for this? For
No,
people to come back?
even if passion is enough, is that one show where I just become an audience enough for me to ensure that I come back to it because there's something in me for my passion.
So what will make see, gift is a very short-term
Incentive.
Very, very, very short-term.
That's why I said incentive.
And again, it's not a very sure shot mechanism that I will come back for a gift.
Correct.
and many people are giving gifts.
But that's what I'm saying, not gifts only. I'm saying incentive. It can be anything.
आपण ना आता त्याच्या मटेरियल व्हॅल्यू वर नको
don't
जाऊया.
go on
And
that.
on the incentive part. Me
See,
where I'm
incentive
coming
always
to
goes.
is where I'm coming to is we need to define that journey, right? And that's where that spaces चा आपलं जे बोलणं होतं that comes into the picture. That is the first part of that journey where some way or the other through personal interactions of Parag, Kavita ma'am, Salil sir, all of you guys, through personal interactions on Twitter, right? You pull that audience, that set of people to the Glyphs CCE show, right? On that show, they find some value, and that is where probably can we say, I don't know, but can we say after each show, whatever it is, be singing be a simple thing, right? Singing जर passion असेल तर it could be foolish, but I'm just throwing in, can we do 10 different Facebook groups saying Glyphs CCE singing group, Glyphs CCE हा group, तो group असे, आणि at the end of it can these guys join these groups? They may get something out of it अँड देन फ्रॉम देअर मग आपला जो फिजिकल फॉर्मॅट आहे जिकडे आपल्याला ॲक्च्युली घेऊन जायचं आहे. कॅन वी व्हॉट हॅपन्स विथ रॉयल एनफिल्ड ग्रुप्स कसे फॉर्म झाले?
त्याच्यामध्ये ना वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट आर मेन intention of Glyphs again was that this is a platform which is integrating passions. So this thought कि Glyphs CCE singing, Glyphs CCE dancing, ये जो है, I think we'll lose out on the exclusivity of a platform that we want to create. Okay, that's A part of it. B part of it is that there are already so many singing groups. There are already so many dancing groups. अजून एक group join करायला how much will I be interested as well?
People are anyway interacting within their fraternity. So maybe photographers, maybe dancers, so त्यांच्या ह्याच्यात काय काय गोष्टी चालू आहेत.
Pockets won't work.
And this is where Glyphs comes in to the photographer groups and says ki, are you guys passionate about photography? Great, here's an opportunity for you.
That's where we want to go.
Exactly. So that's what he's saying. He just couldn't.
We don't create.
No, he's saying create.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's saying create separate Glyphs entities of different passions. But instead of that, what we can do is push the passion into these groups, already existing groups. Trippers, tomorrow there are a lot of people in Trippers I've seen who are passionate about their bungalows. About doing that whole thing. They want people to come, not because they want to earn money, because they just want to meet new people. That's we just put in a post saying ki, here's a platform where you can come and talk about how you got into this business. You don't have to talk about how passionate you are about singing or sport. It can be just a conversation. You just have a conversation ki, why this bungalow? Why Alibag? Why not Manali? And people are interested in finding this out because their audience, like the bungalow audience, is also very personal based. They don't get their bookings on Make My Trip or blah 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 random people. They're all word of mouth.
Correct.
So that is their audience also. So in a way, that brings our audience also to us. So it's like a win-win situation for both.
आणि मग जो आपला अल्टिमेट थॉट आहे ना की याचे चॅप्टर्स व्हायला पाहिजे कुठेतरी, मग वी कॅन गेट इन टू दॅट मोड. दॅट इज द पिनिकल ऑफ दॅट एंटायर जर्नी वेअर अ पर्सन ग्रॅज्युएट्स फ्रॉम प्रॉब्ली अ स्पेसेस टू द शो and from the show to a community which then diverts him to that physical paid.
This becomes an incentive.
And that is where they want to be a part of Glyphs. They want to be interacting and engaging with Glyphs on a long-term basis because they have gone through that entire
process journey. Right? For example, BNI.
So when we're looking at this,
most
spaces
obvious example of insight
is the first interaction,
performance.
random interaction.
It can't get clearer than that.
Is to create audience.
So good. Tick, tick, tick.
Then
Got it.
the community, once we've converted them into community, we even have town square for that community. So again, that becomes an additional incentive. For the final thing of
our
CC.
end goal is ki Glyphs CCE cha under there are multiple products that are talking about Glyphs CCE, about passion, not just the show.
I got 5 minutes.
So what I'm trying to say is that to build a community,
we need mediums.
What kind of mediums? Again, is something that we need to explore.
We need to explore.
So what I understand from this entire conversation is, apart from us kind of wanting to draw people to come to a Glyphs show, we have to go on different platforms and we have to just keep talking about it. Like something which I spoke with you, कि ये करते हैं ना कि whatever I write and things like that, random accounts come and tell me कि promote yourself on this, promote yourself on that. So maybe kind of we go out
better packaged version of that.
Yeah, of course. But point is that all of us individually as the core or whatever also goes out to different platforms and we talk about Glyphs there.
So the show is exclusive to YouTube. Then you have another 10-minute interaction session which is only for Instagram and Facebook.
For example, 94.3 वगैरह, they have this RJ Meena, all they have these initiatives where they're like, if you're a small business, if you're a new startup, come to me, talk to me about your show, and I'll talk about your startup on the radio. Just go do it. You don't know what kind of audience you're bringing in. Yeah. And I've done that with Poshak. I had given Poshak's name, I had given Chemistry's name, I had given everyone's name. Mama had spoken on that. And they call it representative, they make you talk, they ask you questions on it, and they divert you to your Instagram and Facebook.
Have you tried
His daughter is an RJ, by the way.
Have you tried getting, like you said, Mado, marketing, all these guys? No, have you approached them, Curly Tails or all these guys? Have you approached them with?
See, where all this
in a place where we can approach them, because the people that they cover are like massive multinational brands,
which is okay.
Multinational brands.
Exactly. No. So you have certain breakdowns of which brand you want to get touch. Like a Mado marketing, they want you to if you do something really insanely great, then only they cover you. But a Curly Tails, you pay them 60,000 for a month and they keep priming your stuff on their channel. This show is somewhere you can talk about passion. So are we interested in doing that kind of promotion also to generate that community? Not promote the show.
See, ultimately,
the show is a medium of conversation.
Yeah. Look, ultimately, what happened after yesterday's conversation is, all of us somewhere at the back of the mind had this thought that at the end we need to build a community. But yesterday it just got a kick. Okay, now what we said, Glyphs CCE is a parent company. The original format of Glyphs CCE was the physical format, right? But due to unforeseen circumstances, we had to move to the show. But as you all rightly said, the show is not Glyphs. The show is just a medium. We still need to go back to the physical format someday. When can we go to that level is what we will define. But to go to that level, we have to build a community here. That community gets translated to that physical format and gets incentivized into some way or the other. That can be figured out. But then the show is not Glyphs CCE. It is just one of the mediums. Like there was Town Square, there is Town Square, like there was CXO. This is just a medium. Let's treat it as a medium and not Glyphs CCE. That's the only thing. Because the minute we start doing that, treating it just as a medium, we will open ourselves to other mediums as well, where we can start doing bits and pieces here and there.
Just an example, since yesterday we used to call it Glyphs CCE, from today we call it the show. We've stopped saying Glyphs CCE in a normal conversation also. Because we also realize now that Glyphs CCE is not what the show is.
It's not equal.
Yeah.
It is one part.
Yeah. So the question is, do we want to create multiple mediums of communication, exclusivity between each, or do you want to do one where we do it big?
I think we'll have to arrive at that.
Yeah, so that's...
Because then both of these will
and
have
what are
this
the other
pros and cons.
Available mediums of communication. That is also something we need
And
to...
because we have our audience, we know where our audience is. We just have to build on which audience, what is going to work.
Maybe there could be just a point. There could be a Glyphs CCE blog page where we give a platform to some people to write blogs for us and publish their blogs.
So bloggers can work.
With regard to passion.
In terms of forming a community, we will arrive at taking one of the two approaches right now in my understanding. Okay? You either take a second.
I just wish I was a little sorry. I swear. I'm missing him so much right now. Maybe.
He's using his hand. Not well, but he's well now.
At this moment of time. Schrodinger's cat is also.
Okay. Move.
Move your hands.
So, two approaches. You either build a huge community, through different things that we will and then you work on a ratio that okay, out of this entire community, there will be a ratio which will pay and not pay. Okay? Either that approach, or you build something that is so bloody strong and so passionate, or something that drives curiosity and things like that, जिसकी वजह से only paid people, like a BNI, only paid people come into your community and get whatever incentives. So either of the two approaches we are.
Or we can do both.
How can you do both?
Because we have different mediums.
How will you do both?
There can be one, like he said, first.
You have premium members, one you have
freeloaders. Like he said that.
He said that.
For that I am having
He said
humans of New York and all of that.
Incentivize.
We can probably build a official humans of fashion, where all the free data, so anyway that content they only give.
When I say both, na,
I think I got your point. When you say
they only reach out.
You get upgraded
and then you get upgraded.
Yeah, you get upgraded every time you give to the community.
They write the story.
Ki tomorrow I have been part of 100 episodes of Glyphs and I realized that a guy who does fishing every Sunday has not come. And because he got that special category, you give him the chance to be a part of the premium section where he doesn't have to pay, but he's free. So he gets
from 6 months free, 3 months free.
He gets irritated. Okay, I've done this now. Should I pay back to the community more, or should I pay that 5,000 rupees to be a part of the community? And he'll always choose the
will come on the show.
Freemium model did you just talk about?
So that basically is both, no?
So either you kind of give them levels to rise, or somebody who's ready to pay.
And that's where we say at the end the physical format and the show, the digital show, coexist. At no point we stop either.
Yeah.
It has to coexist.
Yeah.
Where someone who does not wish to pay but would like will come here. Someone who sees value here will get upgraded to the physical format.
We make sure that anybody who wants to do the physical format from the audience who's come from the show, we make sure that they work hard enough to get there. ऐसे ही नहीं, we don't say कि oh pay 5,000 rupees and you get in. That's too easy. Sometimes.
It's like Kalagoda. You have to prove
Correct.
that you
Yeah.
can enroll in
Kalagoda.
And that's how they also build. Like if you see any community anywhere, na, it's like that only.
See, the fact
Then you
remains that
talk
Kalagoda will
about
let you get in.
Yeah.
But they've just put that filter just for feel curious.
Yeah.
No,
It's
so
like you get
creates
25% off.
Creates an audience.
It's not only 25%.
Creates a
off.
loyalty. यार काला घोड़ा में जाना है. How you got into Kala Ghoda? Then
You understand.
Yeah.
5 o'clock now.
5 o'clock at office.
You know the standard.
Don't forget your
Yeah,
homework.
office.
Which was Ellen.
Ellen.
Sure.
What are you doing?
I need to leave. Sorry, bye.
Why?
I have a call at 9 o'clock.
What's your problem?
I know. That's why I'm only going. That's my problem. Chalo. Nahi, I need to search this. Line to bring it all. Be in front of a camera, laptop.
I think we leave it at this thought.
Harshad, yeah.
We leave it at this thought. Tomorrow when we come back, we probably must have sleep over it, and so we'll have a clearer, better idea. So we can discuss that here and there.
Then that will.
Just trying to understand
shampoo and
out of all the things, which are the things that we are going to discuss tomorrow?
Wow.
Tomorrow we'll discuss what is the thought that we have just spoken of. What are your thoughts about it?
Different mediums.
So to reach there, then that's it.
Sorry, but sometime back we said we had to also discuss at what which are the kind of evidence that we would want to.
So tomorrow.
See, every time we have a meeting, na, we discuss something new.
Wow.
Tomorrow first half we discuss this, and taking cue from that we form the alimentation part of the.
I'm giving an incentive, right? काय तू पण?
तो एवढा स्क्विगल आहे ना.
तुम्ही काय सांगितलं होतं स्क्विगल म्हणजे?
Squirrel म्हणजे creatives.
Organize a small workshop with
I
Prantik and
would love
us.
to do that.
There's a guy called Prantik Panikret. Sorry.
Tanu, I understand you want to go, but like.
Where is Anitanu? Lights is on the
Sorry.
He organizes this thing.
Yeah.
I haven't been to them, but I've heard from them.
So it's identifying the other person
Oh.
in such a manner that it can help you close a deal.
Geopsychometrics, no?
Mentalism.
Geopsychometrics.
So it's a mixture of all this. But you know.
Your friend is a mentalist, no?
Yeah.
He's mental.
IST निकालो.
काल काय केलं होतं?
Happy birthday.
हो ना, पण केलं काय मग?
Magic changes of color.
मॅजिक चेंज
झालं done.
हीच ती वेळ हसतो क्षण आता निघूया.
अरे काय